Guys, we're going to roll and we will figure it out as we go. So we got two things we're going to talk about today on Motivation Monday. Number one, we're going to do Tips and Tricks Mastermind. Tips and Tricks Mastermind is where our clients, where I shut my big yapper and I let the clients share with you all what is something, what's a tip or a trick that you do that you didn't learn in coaching, something that you came up with in your own or you heard from somewhere else, that saves you time or saves you or makes you money. Okay, so right now we have about 5 or 6 people that have agreed to go. I'd love for you guys to think right now, do you have something? Do you have a tip or a trick that you didn't get from coaching, but you got from somewhere else or you came up with on your own that you could share with somebody and allow them to get the benefit of our mastermind? Does anybody else have anything in the chat box that they'd love to share? I see Eric's on the way. Cool. I'd love for you to think through this real quick. I'd love to get about 10. It's better if we got about 10, and I have about 6 right now. So Don Merrick has one. Woohoo! Anybody else have one? Even if you think it's not cool, like if you do something that again saves you time or gives you money, you might be okay. There you go. Ton has one too. We have Dawn and Ton. Anybody else that you can think of, share, that has something? Awesome. So first off, guys, what we're going to do is we are going to open up registration this week, and we're going to leave it open for 2 weeks for Elevate. So I'm going to show you guys this real quickly. I just posted this. Where is it on my messy desktop right now? I just posted this in the group. So we are doing Elevate January 3rd through 5th, 2019 at the Orlando World Center Marriott. It's right next to Epcot Center. Okay. This year we're going to do something a little bit different. The Elevate is about making your 2019 your best year ever. We're also going to allow, for the first time ever, for you guys to bring either a spouse, a son or daughter, any of your teammates, any of your referral partners. We want to be a resource for you guys going forward, that you guys can use these live events as also relationship builders and team builders as well. So I've seen some really big success. Eric Zanatelli brings his son. I've seen some really cool, like their relationship is so awesome right now. I've seen some people bring a spouse, and that's worked really well. And I've seen some people bring referral partners, and this is a great way to spend some time with referral partners. Anybody that's open to this stuff, and especially on your team too. If you have anybody on your team, the biggest question that I always get is, how do I get them? How do I get my teammates, or how do I get my employees to really buy into some of the stuff that I'm doing? I'll tell you this, there's no better way than to bring them, because it's really difficult for you guys as managers and as you grow to tell somebody what to do. But if they listen to us teach it for 3 days and they get inspired and they want to change for themselves, that's where you'll see these great breakouts. So guys, I know this is going to sell out too, so we secured that. That's a picture of it right there. Might not look that good in September, but in January, that's going to look really good. And again, it's right next to Epcot. And so we have 200 spots that we've contracted for. It definitely will sell out, because we're going to, as I said, we're going to allow people to bring people for the first time. So if this is something that's on your heart or your mind and you want to attend, I just posted it in the group, and we're going to send you an email with it as well. That link is an open link, and you can give it to anybody. This is going to be only for our clients and by invite only. So we will retain our same culture when we do it. Okay, guys, let's go now to tips and tricks right now. Seth Bennett has something too. Awesome, Seth. Guys, this is my favorite one. This is where I shut up and I let you guys mastermind and teach each other really cool tips and tricks that have worked for you. So I am going to zip it right now. I'm going to introduce Aaron DeHart, who's going to start it for us. Aaron, if you can unmute yourself, what's a tip or trick that you have that has made a big difference in your life, my friend?
Good morning, everybody. So one of the things I started doing, so I actually I switch my Mondays and Tuesdays in the system. So I actually do my updates on Tuesdays, and then Monday are my past database clients that I do. So being competitive that I am, I decided about 7, 8 months ago to double it. So instead of doing 5 past client videos every Monday, I'll do 10. And then about a month ago, I figured it's getting close to the last quarter, might as well have a little fun. So I started adding 5 additional every day after that. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm also sending out 5 videos to the past clients. And what I've found is, even if we're in a rising interest rate environment, there's still a lot of people out there that need to refinance, but they might not even know it. They have a HELOC, or they've got credit cards that are going up because the prime rates are going up. Husbands getting in trouble with their wives for spending too much money on credit cards, or vice versa. Whatever it is with that. And then also, a lot of people that have down payment assistance programs, if it was like 3 years ago or something, they're probably in a position and have a pretty good positive equity position that they can do a refinance in. And then you never know. We had a kid we did a loan for about 2.5 years ago, and it was him and his wife, and they got into a little townhouse, and I just sent out a video to check in, and he's all, "Dude, I'm glad you reached out, man." And he's all, "My road just got turned upside down." And I'm like, "Oh no." First thing I'm thinking is something bad happened. He's all, "Dude, we're pregnant with twins, man. This townhouse isn't going to work anymore." So they're out there. And then another thing that I also implemented, I'm a big mortgage coach user, and we've actually started telling all of our clients this. If they are a brand new client for us, hey, you're going to be hearing from me at least probably a couple times a year. And then we also started scheduling our annual mortgage reviews with clients, because life happens, things change, all the time. Just having twins, so.
Dude, I love that, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think
Absolutely.
The big takeaway for me when I listen to that, guys, is instead of us being any sort of reactionary, is that we get to create our own business. And Aaron said it really well. There is business out there. You have to go create that business. That's the shift in there. So Aaron, thanks so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Stephanie M.
Hey guys, so Derek and I were just chatting a little bit last week. So one thing that I found was crazy was when I don't know if you guys saw my post on the group, that we did a Facebook Live. And it was
Facebook Live for what? Tell them exactly what it was.
I was doing open house. So we're in Charleston, South Carolina. So we always make our open houses fun. I try to do at least one a week. Sometimes it's not one a week, depending on my schedule. But so anyway, the girl, I've been really helping her because she is a really upcoming agent. She's been in this like 3 years, and she's just killing it. And so she loves what I've been doing with all my videos. So she asked me to come over, and she never even brought up doing it, but I've been encouraging her to be more social on her Facebook page and do videos, and she's been doing it. It's really helped her business out. So we were at the house, and I'm like, "Hey, let's do a Facebook Live." She's like, "Oh my God, no, I will no, like I'm not doing it." And she's like, they had gotten mimosas because it's Charleston and it's Wednesday, so why not, right?
Right.
So we had mimosas at the open house, even though it was 11 to 2. And so we had a really nice catered event. And anyway, so we get out there, and she's like, "Well, let me drink a mimosa first." So, but I think what I found is I had 3 agents so far reach out to me because they loved it. And I think we all kind of take for granted how much people enjoy Facebook Live. I think it's more of, I know I'm more likely to click on a live than I am a video, because I think it's so authentic and so real that people, like Kirk did one other day. And I watched the whole thing because I found myself not wanting to stop watching it because I was curious what was going on. And I think it's because it is so authentic, and that you mess up. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the whole thing. It was kind of long. But like towards the end, she walked off because a potential client walked in the door, and I'm basically finishing up the tour of a house. and I'm not a real estate agent.
Right.
So, but anyway, it was cool because I had 3 other agents reach out to me. I love what you did on Facebook. Do you mind coming and doing an open house with me? Similar.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was really cool. I think we all should. I've seen a few people in the group start to do them.
Yeah.
And even some of my agents I saw over the weekend were posting Facebook Live at their open houses this weekend.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being a leader with that. And thank you so much for sharing with that. I think you're absolutely right. It's really you showing off to your network and your future realtors what you can do for them. And you just nailed it too. People have so much nerves around video or Facebook Live. And when you can help them through that right now, you become, really attractive to the marketplace. So thanks for sharing that, Stephanie.
Yeah, for sure.
Eric Z.
Good morning. How in the world are you?
Man, I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So one of the thing I wanted to share today, and it was kind of funny, in one of my morning readings last week, it was the parable of the wineskins and how man doesn't put new wine into old skins or doesn't patch an old coat with new material. And it kind of made me start thinking about the mindset behind doing videos and the mindset behind Facebook, the way that we do it in our group and the way that you teach it, is that we really have to get our mindset right before we do those things. We have to be thinking. And so the mindset that I strive really hard to do on my Facebook videos and on all my social media posts is, how can I come across as helpful? How can I come across as unique? And how can I come across as not salesy in any way, shape, or form? And
Nice.
And I try to have that correct first. And before I joined you, I mean, I had to completely change my coat, my wineskins, everything, because before, everything I did on Facebook was wrong. And I've been doing this for a while now, but I just say this for everybody in the group, regardless of where you're at in your journey, to just give some thought to the mindset behind why you're doing videos. And if I believe that our success, and we're now averaging about 11 applications a month from Facebook alone, I believe that success comes from being real focused on having the proper mindset on how I put the videos together and what I'm thinking about while I'm doing the video, which is just how many more people out there can we reach out to and can we help?
That's beautiful, right? Right there. He comes from a servant mentality, and you come from a servant mentality. The amount of business, guys, is limitless for you. There's no cap on it. I promise you that. Come from a salesy, cold calling, used car salesman type mentality, that it is the business is closed. The market is not open for that right now. But Eric, you do that better than anybody on the planet, man. And I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
Yes. Christy Farmer.
Hey guys, what I'm going to talk about today is share with you a little bit about send out cards. And if you're not familiar with that, you guys can reach out with me later and I'll go into more detail. But I found I used to do handwritten notes to people. And while that was great, I felt like it was very personal. They read it, oh, that's nice. And they trashed it. With send out cards, I'll show you some of the examples in a minute. But with send out cards, they keep them. And I started out using send out cards for me to generate more business with realtors. And what I found it did was it built some phenomenal relationships with my realtors, with my past clients, with prospects, with realtors that I want to do business with. So to me, when I started it turned into something different, which is, I've been pleasantly surprised with that. For example, I'll show you if you guys don't mind. This is a picture of a customer can you guys see that? It's a picture of a house that I did in the Charleston area and sent it to the customer, and he had taken a picture for me. And then on the back of my card, it has my contact information. So I started out sending them, I take a picture, and I attend all my closings, and I take a picture of the customer or their families at the closing table. And then I'll send them that card thanking them for the business, and it has a picture of their family. Well, they keep them on their refrigerator, on their bookshelf, and then all my contact information on the back. And I have a little fun with this as well. Like, for example, like if I've had a tough deal and maybe an underwriter really went above and beyond for me, I sent one of them this card, and I love this one. It's like clear to close, boom, drop the mic. And then it just helps to build relationships. It's just what I have found that's been awesome for me. And it's because you're genuinely appreciative of whatever has happened. Like for the underwriter. And then therefore you build that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I use them to send them to, for example, I had one customer that just had a baby like 2 days after we closed. So I took a picture of the baby that I got off Facebook and sent it to
This
that
is
family.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
So I pull those pictures when I see like a life event happening with a realtor or a customer or whatever. We screenshot it and then we use it in our send out cards. And I cannot tell you the positive feedback that I've gotten from customers, clients, people calling me going, oh my gosh, that was like the best card ever. It's on my refrigerator, whatever it is. I also use it like for somebody gets agent of the month. I'll send them a card with their logo and their picture and information on it. I use them for a lot of different things. If I want to reach out to a realtor, maybe that it's kind of been a cold call rather than picking the phone up. They're like, who are you? I don't know who you are. I don't want to have coffee with you, but I'll send a card sometimes, and pick a date or some options and send that to them. That's worked well. And on a sadder note, I had a good realtor of mine who lost a teenage or adult daughter to a drug overdose. And as tragic as that was, I made a memory card of her and pictures of her and her daughter in happier times. And I sent it to her as like brokenhearted because I couldn't imagine losing a child like that. And I was at her house maybe 4 months afterwards, just visiting her, checking, seeing how she was doing. And that card was on her mantle. She's like, you have no idea how much that meant to me, number one, and that I can keep that, all those great happy pictures of my daughter and I on the, and so it really made an impact and more than I expected. I was just trying to share some empathy and sympathy with her. So I use them for a lot of different reasons, but the one thing above all else, it just builds some phenomenal relationships. And it's not that expensive to do. And is, the first time you do it, it's a little more cumbersome. But after that, it's just what I do now. I do them at closings. I do them for open houses. I do them for meetings. There's a lot of different things you can use. Birthdays, I also send birthdays. I know a lot of us use Motivator as a CRM, and it automatically sends emails and stuff. But when they get a card that is from you, you've remembered their birthday, that really, I get a lot of calls and emails from people going, I cannot believe you've remembered my birthday and you sent me a card. I love sending out cards for that reason.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Really, guys, the shift with the send out cards is you're able to personalize a card, right? So
absolutely.
If you have a picture of somebody's child on a card, that makes it almost virtually impossible for them to throw that letter away. Do you guys see that right there? And if you have a picture of their house that they just bought in there, it makes it really impossible for them to throw that away. And that's what I think is just so brilliant in that right now. So Chrissy, thanks so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. If anybody wants to reach out later, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer it. However, you guys can reach out. I'm happy to do it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Dawn.
Can you hear me?
Kind of, yeah. Maybe come a little bit closer.
Okay. Here, let me shift. Hold, please.
We'll go. So Dawn, we'll come back to you. Ton, let's go to you. We're coming back to you, Dawn, in just a minute.
All right.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
So I've been using a couple of Microsoft Outlook tools for quite a long time. One more towards marketing and one really just organization.
Mm-hmm.
A real estate agent that I know, I was getting his emails and he would always have, open house 123 Main Street. Please stop by Ton in the subject line, or he would have something personalized within the subject body. Mm-hmm. And I could tell looking at it that he didn't write the email just to me.
Right.
Definitely a mass email, but yet there was a mail merge feature going on. So I asked him about it, and it's a Microsoft Outlook add-on from a company called standss.com. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
It's like an $70 or $80 purchase. And what it does, it gives you a very stable, which is key for Outlook, a very stable Outlook add-in that gives you full-blown mail merge capabilities within your Microsoft Outlook, meaning you can do mass emails from Outlook with attachments, with embedded whatever images. And the very powerful part, like I've been using Outlook forever, and I use categories. So if I get a realtor, I put them in as a realtor, Loudon Broker Open, whatever it might be. customers can be, you know, hot lead, this lead, Leesburg lead, whatever it is, whatever you can think of. I mean, I actually still have a category in my Outlook that's Palm Pilot from back in the day.
Wow.
What happens with this program is you can then set up an email, and it's merge fields, just like if people are familiar with Microsoft Word or whatnot, or you can add in insert first name here.
Yep.
So, hey, insert
Derek.
first name here, you know, Derek, you know, hope, whatever, great to see you, blah, 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 blah. I wanted you to take a quick look at this, whatever it might be. And then you'll say insert company name here. It'll automatically put your company name in. So a lot of times when I send things out, it'll be, please feel free to pass this on to anyone else at insert company name here. So most realtors read this and they're like, wow, he just sent me an email, because I speak in my language to them and I have their company name embedded in there. They can tell it's not just a mass email out of it. And it's out of my Outlook categorized. It's an $80 one-time purchase. So it's just a really powerful tool. I use it for rate sheets. I know rate sheets are controversial with LOs. A lot of the LOs here say, no, don't do them. They're the old school. I, as an ex-real estate agent, I still think they're very, very powerful. That's another discussion from my days as a broker. But I use those on, like, every Saturday morning. I use this and send approximately 250 sheets out that are the different categories, and they're all written differently and all personalized to the people in that category. So
yeah, I'll give you my opinion about this, and this goes for everybody too in here, is old school rate sheets in the sense of that here are the rates on this does provide value to an agent that runs mortgage calculator projections and stuff for people. So what I used to do that worked really well is, Ton, if you were in my market and you were a broker, I would say it like this. I'd say, hey, Ton, if you have any people that you're taking out this weekend or anything, rates right now are in the low fives. So if anybody's running any numbers, they want to see what their house would cost, use 5 and an 8 for their number in there. And that used to help out a lot in there. And that was something that, across the board, agents would give me feedback on and say, thank you so much on that. So I totally agree with you, Ton. I think there's a lot of value in that. You just don't want to box yourself in on any kind of compliance issues, or, you don't want to be going low on a rate because you're trying to get into any rate discussion. You're really saying use this rate from a payment perspective, so they can get a general idea of how much a $400,000 house costs this weekend.
So I agree. So we're fortunate that we've got an LO that is really, really, really into the whole, the market and what's going on. He writes a commentary for us every Friday. So we have like really good verbiage to put in there. I do include, and many of us do include, actual rates on generic scenarios. And the way I sell it to the realtors when I first meet with them is, hey, and I pull it up on my phone and say, when I was an agent, when I was showing homes, I used to love getting these, because when I'm out with somebody and they ask me, hey, what are rates doing? Boom, boom. I can pull up Ton's email and say, oh, the conforming's 4.5, whatever, just have a general idea of things. And that kind of hooks them into it. Now I've got a way to touch them. I've asked their permission. I touch them every week with it. So that's the one program, and I'll put it in here. It's called Email Merge, from a company called StandSS. And the same company, StandSS, has a program called QuickFile. I won't get real into that. I'll put a link to it in the discussion. But it's a Microsoft add-in that lets you, every time and you can configure it. These are very powerful, like how you want to configure these programs. You can, every time you send an email out, it gives you option to automatically file it into the customer's Outlook folder. Like every time you get an email in, you can click file, and it's smart, and it figures out, which, like if it has Derek Cheney in it, I click file, it automatically goes to the Derek Cheney folder. So
Dude, thanks so much. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really, really appreciate that.
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Can we maybe have Tan do that as a post on your Facebook page instead of over in the conversation log on this thing? Because when we close this conversation log, it's gone.
Yeah, thanks for saying that, Eric. If you don't mind, just do it in the Facebook group so everybody has the benefit of it.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Don Merrick.
Okay, can you hear me better?
I can.
Okay, so I have started using a program called HomeBot, and it's right now it's based in Denver because the inventors are here, but it's good nationwide. And for anybody that's familiar with Home Scouting Report and the whatever the follow-up home value thing was, this is a program that will pull data from all different sources, and your customer gets an email once a month with the value of their home and options if they refinanced, if they wanted to pull money out to buy another property, if they wanted to rent Airbnb. But you can sponsor real estate agents. And the beauty in this for me is if I sponsor real estate agents and they dump their database in there, the only mortgage person, if anybody clicks on that they want a CMA or they want to ask mortgage questions, it's me. It's access to your entire realtor's database without being intrusive.
Yep.
And what has really worked for me is I get lost on Tuesdays. I'm like, I gotta call people. I don't know. And I thought, so I just pull up HomeBot and I see who's opened the digest, and I just call them one after the other. Hey, I saw that you looked at that. Can I answer any questions for you? Or I send out a video and I'm getting so much response from that it's crazy. It's simple. It's like people want to talk to you about it. Oh yeah, I didn't think my house went up that much. I was thinking of doing this, and it sparks a conversation. And a lot of times you can, if it's just your customer not associated with the realtor, you can refer the customer. But I've gotten at least 5 referrals from the realtors that I have sponsored in there. And I got a refi out of one of them because the guy was just like, yeah, I didn't know I had that much. Yeah, let's do this. And it was, and the graphics on it, even though it's not an app, it's online. But if you pull it up in your phone, the graphics are designed to look perfect with your phone. So it's so user-friendly and amazing and it's available nationwide, but the inventors are here in Colorado. So it's only been around for like 2 years or something.
Is it homebot.com, or do you know, is that what?
Yeah, I'll put the info up there I'll put the info on the group.
In the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable, guys. Look, we've seen a couple new things that people are bringing to the Tuesday part. Aaron's on, doing it as an annual review is a great way to do it, but also doing this as, hey, I just want to reach out and let you know that your house worth this. Now you've got value. Now there's value there instead of just open to people being, wait, what? Huh? What do you call me about? So, Dawn, that's fantastic. I love that because having a conversation around somebody's value of their home is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Go ahead, Dawn.
One last thing is, I would, forever the skeptic, I'm working on that. I didn't want to upload my entire database in there in case I didn't like it. So there's like 75 people in there. For 4 months I've been doing it. The open rate and the view rate of the digest, they'll send out 75 and it'll have 180 opens. And then it gives you the data. So-and-so opened this and looked at the home value 2 hours ago, looked at it 4 times, looked at it, gives you the data. So you know how interested they are in it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I tell you what, I can hear in your excitement, your voice that you're fired up about it too. Guys, I love that. Dawn, thanks so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And if you don't mind, if you can put that in the Facebook group too. Let's go to Seth. I'm going to go Seth, Ricky, Bobby, and then Shannon, Dom. And Shannon, you still on? I'm going to have you do both of yours to end. So that's going to be the end of ours. And guys, we're a little bit over, but this is really, really cool. So I don't want to stop that. Let's go, Seth.
All right. I had one, but as we were sitting here, I know time's short. I have something else that's really simple.
Okay.
Some may already use this, but it's called SaneBox.
That's what Shannon's going to share, but that's cool. Share it. And Shannon, I want you to do your last one anyways, on top of that. So share SaneBox. We were going to share that, but go ahead.
Well, it's an email add-on. I think it's about $100 a month, but it filters and sorts your email, and there's a lot more capabilities.
It's $6 a year. It's $5 a month, not $100
a month. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. It all merges together.
What's the benefit to everybody in it?
Well, I mean, there's a couple different things. One is it will pre-sort your emails. So I know a lot of us will mark stuff as spam or junk, but those then end up selling your information on, and it seems like you get more junk. You just throw these in what's called Sane Black Box, and it never shows up in your email again, and they're basically blacklisted. Furthermore, though, you can use it as a really way to keep track of emails and clean out your inbox. So you can CC 3 days at sanebox.com. And in 3 days, that email is going to show back up in your email. So if it's something you need to follow up on, you can do 1 day. There's also different categories to sort where basically it's a time efficiency thing, where when you actually get into your email, if you're actively using it correctly, you're only seeing the pertinent information that you really need to see. Everything else is kind of filtered off.
That's awesome.
So I know it's been a huge time
Can I
saving.
share?
Yeah, please, Shannon. Any other benefits to anybody in there?
Can I share my screen? Because really
Of course.
fast.
Yeah.
Show how, like, today I haven't cleaned out. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me just dismiss that. So here's my inbox. I haven't even done anything to it today. And so my Sane box, I have Sane Black Hole, Sane CC, Sane Later. So you can see I've got 29. But these are all, most of it's junk. So you only go to these boxes like once a day.
Mm-hmm.
There are things you just don't need to be looking at. So when you get in on Monday morning, my inbox, this is it. I have these emails that are really important that I need to get on.
I love that, guys. So I appreciate Seth and appreciate you, Shannon, sharing that right now. Shannon, I'm going to come back to you at the end to tie this all together.
Yep.
But thanks to both of you guys for sharing that.
One last thing. Once you put it, you just drag and drop it right into that same black hole and you never see those emails again. So you don't have to unsubscribe to anything. It's cool.
That is unbelievable. So thank you guys. I love that, guys. I can't tell you how much of a time waster people get into on their emails. It's literally amazing how much time is wasted in there. Okay. Now you guys are sitting back right now and you're going, man, I just got a lot of cool ideas. That can be detrimental if you don't now go to the next step, which is pick one and do it. Okay. So you guys have taken a lot of notes in here. And because we're coaches too, we want to always help you take the next step. We don't want to be just informational. We want to be transformational for you guys too. So really quick, Stephanie, sanebox.com. So guys, I want you to look down your list. Shannon Dahmen is going to take us home right now on this. She has an awesome saying that we were in a coaching thing last week and we were talking about things and she brought it up and we were like, ooh, drop the mic. There it is right there. So Shannon, in the context of this call right here, in the context of what you're about to say, I see this being able to be a really true merge when you say, hey, look at one of these things and what, Shannon?
If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no.
Say it again.
It's got to be a hell yeah. So my husband and I got so busy personally and then with business and everything else. And we were so spread so thin that we changed our motto that when we can say yes to things, it has to be a hell yeah. Or it's a no. So
or it's a no.
The one idea and move on from the rest.
Right. And pick the one that's a hell yeah. That's awesome. I'm doing that send out cards thing. Or that's awesome. I'm doing the same box thing. I'm not telling you you can only do one. But what I'm telling you is pick the one that's a hell yeah for you right now. Right. Pick the one that's a hell yeah. Go into this week with, I'm going to do that one and I'll come back and see if there are any other hell yes for us in here. Okay, guys, this is unbelievable. And I love, and Shannon used it in a completely different context when people are asking her to do, once you start getting really busy, people are going to be asking you a lot of your time. Your time will get more valuable the more successful that you become. And people get into some bad places when they say yes, when they really meant no. So the truth of the matter is that what Shannon just shared can be used in a lot of different contexts, right? And I love that. And guys, you have an absolutely fantastic week. I want to personally thank everybody that shared today. You guys make this, you make this job unbelievable. You make the client experience unbelievable. I can't thank you enough for sharing your tips and tricks instead of being what the rest of the world is, which is, I don't want to share anything that will somehow affect me or I'll lose some sort of competitive advantage, right? That's not what we do here. We live in abundance. And so hats off to each and every one of you guys. You guys have a fantastic week and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.